Joy, 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 joy. What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to episode 3 of Smack Explains, a show where I dive deep into horror and gaming related stuff. Make sure to watch the previous 2 episodes. A lot of you guys were requesting me to do this video for such a long time, like really long time. Specifically, iMarino HD, shout out to you. We are finally doing the explanation / story video for Joy Gang, formerly known as Joy Mascots, from the upcoming chapter of indie horror game Dark Deception. You see, the fact of the matter is, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of mystery behind these characters, especially in these sorts of games. Indie developers tend to do this a lot, to not only make their games enjoyable, but also a lot more interactive, and for the most part, it works. Some examples would be Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Tattletale, Emily Wants to Play, and you get the point. However, some of these games tends to make their stories overlap with that of true reality. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but there has been a lot of games that portrays in their own way the narrative of what has actually happened in XYZ or to XYZ, but for the most part, it's just all fun and games. However, it is a bit different for a game like Dark Deception. You see, ever since I started making videos regarding Dark Deception, and as much as it's growing, it tends to push the narrative of real life issues. It's portraying the reality of our today's society, and I know it sounds cheesy and quite stretched, but trust me on this one, it's not. I've played and seen so many developers' commentary. Indie developers tends to put a lot of narration, a lot of social commentary, good or bad, in their games through the story they're presenting in their product, and it's nothing new. It's been happening for decades in the movies, TV shows, music, and now it's growing insanely in gaming world as well. Now, you might be thinking, what exactly am I trying to prove here, ladies and gentlemen? You see, this game, Dark Deception, has a history of telling dark, disturbing stories in an unfashioned way. Sure, running in mazes with different monsters chasing you and finally getting that ring to end the level is already disturbing enough, and trust me, it is. But what these levels and these characters are trying to represent and portray is a lot worse and terrifying than what meets the eye. And that's where I want to split this episode into a few points. Where are we in terms of Chapter 4's Joy Gang? What is Joy Gang? What is the meaning and story behind Joy Gang's involvement in our protagonist's life? So without wasting any more time, let's begin. Now, even though I haven't been making new videos or any videos for Dark Deception Chapter 4, I've been fairly keeping up with all the news, all the new voice actors, the difficulties, all of that. But the real interest of mine from all of this lies in what Glowstick uploaded on their channel a while ago. We've had a teaser that will break down, we have a couple of soundtracks, and then some theories that we'll get into to solve this insane mystery of Joy Gang from Dark Deception Chapter 4. Joy Gang is the second level, supposedly, in Chapter 4 of Dark Deception. It's meant to be this children-themed, just like every other level apart from Monkey Business or Gold Watchers or Sewers, but you get the point. Which is heavy, because we're trying to learn the story of what exactly going on around here. So far, there are 3 animatronics, like main animatronics, that they're creepy, gigantic size, almost as if someone is inside. And then you have their second form, where they lose some part of their costume, and you start to see those lasers in their eyes. The animatronic part, the mechanical part, is finally revealing itself. So far, it hasn't been confirmed where we will be, but judging from the teasers and overall theme, it's fair to say that it's gonna be an abandoned pizzeria restaurant, because that makes more sense. Chapter 4 is expected to come very sooner than we all anticipate. I have Halloween date in mind, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, there's this standalone Yandere Simulator and Dark Deception crossover things and other projects, so it's a lot going on for Glowstick Entertainment at this point. We also know that there will be new powers, mainly Vanish, so I wonder how that's going to be used in this level. Then apart from that, judging from all the tweets regarding voice actors, voice sessions being successful, it's fair to say that Chapter 4's progress is going well, and we could, in theory, expect to see it very soon. But that's all production and boring stuff. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of the story here, and let's talk about the mystery behind all of this Joy gang. Now, we made a video a while ago where I went into details regarding the secret notes that were found in chapter 3 that gave a lot, and I mean a lot, of clues and story regarding what this game is all about. Now, there will be a Dark Deception entire story explanation video afterwards, but for now, let's tackle this specific part that we all know and in love with, not really, Joy Gang. Now, there has been some controversies regarding Dark Deception's Joy Gang, formerly known as Joy Mascots, and Five Nights at Freddy's, since you know animatronics similarities, of course. But regardless of what's your opinion on that matter at hand, Joy Gang represents another dark element from our main protagonist's life that he's reliving in form of nightmare. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Oh boy, it's gonna be a good one. We know that, spoilers alert, we're at the point in our protagonist's life where we're learning all the bad things he had done in his life and how it's unfolding in terms of these nightmare portals, and how he's not only trying to get it all together but trying to right the wrongs, which you could say is impossible at this point, especially by trusting someone like Beers, who's got her fair share of problems with someone like Malak. There's a lot at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. But Joy Gang represents another sequence, another history point, another past moment from our protagonist's life that he shared with his family, most specifically his daughter, during her innocent days as a kid. We're talking about Christine Drazy. I've discussed about her involvement in the story, her backstory, and how she was one of many reasons why we're in this living hell, a purgatory state, if you will, commending whatever we are with Beers and Malak and these nightmare portals. Just for the quick backstory, so you and I are working with the same state of mind, the main protagonist, Doug Hauser, which was found from chapter 3's Crazy Carnival secret notes, found himself realizing that no one could ever give him love and attention that he needed. No one except for his wife and daughter. Unfortunately, we all know what happened there. This build-up was important to understand what's coming next, because then we'll know for sure that these nightmare portals are basically him remembering all the bad stuff, some good stuff as well, from his past life that seems to make him feel more guilty, make him realize how insanely bad and the worst father and husband he was, or most specifically, how terrible of a human being he really was. But what does this has to do with the Joy Gang? Well, it's simple at this point. Joy Gang represents the fear and the joy from his past life and the current state he's living in. Fear as in fear of eternal hell suffering, and joy as in the joy of her innocent daughter who enjoyed her time in pizzeria restaurants with these giant animatronics, dancing, giving pizzas. Well, that is if they gave pizzas, otherwise just normal meals like McDonald's or something like that. You know, cakes would be good too. Yeah, you get the point now. Joy Gang could also represent Christine's birthday party, something Doug arranged after he left and abandoned his wife, which didn't go all smooth either, which also ended up in him abandoning and leaving both his wife and his daughter. It was horrible, the way he abandoned his own family. Nonetheless, the scare of animatronics, big red eyes, is his fear. The fear that his daughter is taken out on him in the form of scary animatronics, chasing and gunning him for his life. The fear of his daughter not forgiving him for what he has done to not only her, but her mother as well. For all the horrible things he has done, for all the abuse that he did, not only to her mother, but to her as well, which was supported by a secret note from chapter 3 where they mentioned the bruises. That is insane, ladies and gentlemen. And then the teaser. From the teaser, which was really odd, like no hate to you, Mike from SuperHorrorBro. I really like you, I'm a big fan, but it was fairly odd. I mean, you could say it was creepily odd. But from the teaser, something really strikes me when I saw children with balloons being happy and then unhappy. Now sure, it's very simple to explain why they were happy at once with balloons and then all of a sudden they were unhappy, but we can go even further. Those kids in the background represents the trauma of a child who knows that her life is a mess, who knows that she isn't living a normal life. Mom and dad aren't together, my dad abuses me, I got pain in my body, this party doesn't bring me happiness, these animatronics doesn't bring me happiness, these things, they don't give me the joy. And that is exactly where it's leading towards. That party didn't end well, Christine and her mother's fate didn't end well, and apparently Doug's fate is about to go the same as well. Or will it go the same way? Well, that's apparently the plot of the game itself. It's really interesting how this game is tackling so many issues at hand: depression, abuse, greediness of today's society, murders, social injustice, mental abuse, sexual abuse, just to name a few. It's really gonna be interesting to see what we're gonna learn in this upcoming chapter. I'm really looking forward to the secrets of this game. Let me know which level out of all three you're looking forward to the most, and also let me know what other type of content you would like to see on this channel. If you want to see me going in horror places, I got some really creepy places in my town. Hey, I can go full horror mode on this channel if you want. Just let me know down in them comments and I'm all up for it. With that being said, I'll see you in the next episode of Smack Explains. It's gonna be a good one, I hope. Until then, make sure to subscribe and become an official member of Smack Empire. I'm Smack, and until next time, take care and peace.